Well, for more on markets and the state of deal-making, Tusk Ventures CEO Bradley Tusk joins us now. He's known for early investments in Uber, Coinbase, FanDuel, and more. Thank you so much for being here with us, Bradley. I guess I'd just love to get your take sort of right now writ large on what's going on in the markets and as it pertains to policy. Now that we have the president's spending bill that has been signed, we have a little bit more details on what's going to happen with tariffs, at least as some of these countries start getting their letters. How do you think it influences the broader market at this point?
Yeah, I think markets like certainty. And so there were three big variables and now kind of one and a half, like you said, are resolved. So the budget is done. We know what that means in terms of venture, like the new QSBS provisions are really good. So that should be helpful. Two would be tariffs. Some are resolved, some are unresolved. There's still debate as to what the impact of the tariffs would mean if they do go into effect in the way that Trump said they would. And the third would be interest rates, which includes who runs the Fed. And obviously, the venture market, as much as anyone wants to see interest rates cut, we're at an interesting moment in venture where there's been almost no liquidity for 4 years. And then now things are starting to move. And I think that the venture world is looking for every possible sign of encouragement to either take companies public or do M&A. We've got a much more friendly FTC right now. So a lot of the pieces are there, but not all of them yet.
And so what moves the needle on that? Ultimately, are you waiting for some movement from the administration on potentially deregulation, or loosening up some restrictions that everyone's been hopeful for?
By industry. Right. So, for example, we're investors in Circle. The Genius Act, which is the Stablecoin Act, has passed the Senate, hasn't passed the House yet. It will. But to a certain extent, we'll see if the market's already priced that fully in, or if once it passes the House, gets signed by the president, there's sort of further movement as a result of that. So on an individual basis, when I look at my portfolio companies, we have another company called Kodiak that's on the screen. They're an autonomous trucking company. They're going public next month. The US DOT has still yet to issue any sort of sensible regulations around how autonomous trucking interstate would work. Something like that would help a lot. So there's definitely, I would say, more activity by the Trump administration around settling some of the regulatory issues. In the Biden world, it was sort of very hands-off, which was good in a way, but it was also bad because things that needed to get done didn't really get done either. But by and large, I think one thing that I think investors don't necessarily realize, the vast majority of tech regulation is at the state level. It's not at the federal level. So we all think about the White House and Congress when the word politics pops into our brain. But most of the time, that's actually not really what matters.
Brad, it's Tim. Thanks for joining us. So game on in terms of Trump administration as it pertains to crypto and certainly the regulatory backdrop. You're an investor. You've been an investor. Coinbase, I'm sure, has excited you over the last few weeks. Talk about ancillary plays. Are the public, are some of these companies, and we talk about other ancillary crypto digital plays a lot on this desk, and the wonder is, have the public markets already priced in more than they should? And as someone that's straddling both worlds, where do you see more opportunity?
Look, it's certainly, let's just be clear on crypto, hard to really know because it is the most momentum-based sort of index or commodity or however you want to describe it that I've ever seen, right? So it doesn't totally ascribe to the normal rules of logic and gravity. But, I think what we're seeing here, and some of this is things like the Genius Act, but overall in the Trump approach to crypto at the SEC and the CFTC is when it is totally accepted by the federal government and seen as part of the underlying economic system and banks start to get into stable coins, then the question becomes, is this just the beginning? And is there a lot more room for growth, or is it priced in? I would say it's probably not fully priced in because we've seen some really proactive, positive movements by the SEC and the White House around crypto so far, but there could be more to come. And so, yeah, I would be pretty bullish.